The sprawling mansion early afternoon. You are in your room packing a small bag. You look determined but also a little nervous. Don't feel nervous, YN. You have been feeling stifled and want some time to yourself. You feel trapped by the constant surveillance and weight of your marriage to Taehyung. You long for a sense of freedom, even if it's just for a few hours. Just a few hours. I will be back before he even notices. To yourself whispering. You slip out of your room, avoiding the usual security detail. You know this is a risk, but you feel a desperate need for some space. Taeyang is in his office. His chief bodyguard Jungso enters his face grim. Boss, there is a situation. What is it? Without looking up from his paperwork, voice curt. Taeyang is a powerful mafia leader. Used to being in control, he expects his order to be followed without question. Lady YN, she left the premises alone. He was a shadow, a whisper in the city's underbelly. Kim Taeyong, a mafia king. His power was absolute, his control unwavering. Then there was YN, his wife. His obsession, his weakness. He loved her with a ferocity that bordered on madness, a love expressed through the very control that threatened to suffocate her. She was a woman caught in a guilt cage, married to the most dangerous man in the city. Her life was a tightrope, walk between her fear and a fragile hope for something more. Intelligent and resilient, she was trapped in a world where love was a battlefield and her husband the most formidable warrior. Alone? What do you mean, alone? His head snaps up, his eyes narrowing. No guards, no driver. Lady YN just walked out. A cold dread washed over Taeyong. He knows the dangerous lurking outside the mansion walls. His enemies could seize any opportunity to harm him, and you are his most vulnerable point. How long ago? Voice slow and dangerous. Approximately an hour, sir. And her? Why isn't I informed immediately? Standing up abruptly, knocking over his chair. We were trying to locate YN first, sir. We thought Lady YN might just be taking short walk. A short walk? Without guards? Do you have any idea of the risk you are taking? His voice raising, his eyes blazing. He is furious, but his anger is fueled by fear. He is imagining all the terrible things that could happen to you. Get everyone out there. Search every street, every alley. Find YN. Grabbing his phone, his fingers flying across the screen. He paces the office, his mind racing. He calls his most trusted contacts, asking for information. Each passing minute fuels his anxiety. What do you mean by you lost YN? Find YN now. Into the phone, his voice tight with controlling fury. He slams the phone down, pacing like a caged tiger, his jaw clenched. Where could YN have gone? To himself, voice low and dangerous, he grabs his coat and heads out, his men scrambling to follow. His mind races with possibilities, all of them terrifying. Into the mansion's grand hall, you enter tentatively, your heart pounding. Taehyung is standing in the center of the hall, his face a mask of fury. Why and where were you? You dared to walk in here like nothing happened? Voice booming, shattering the silence. His voice is a raw, guttering sound, fueled by hours of agonizing worry and simmering rage. He is beyond angry, he is terrified. Taehyung, Shrinking back, your voice barely a whisper. Don't you dare Taehyung me. Where have you been? Do you have any idea what you have put me through? Taking a step closer, his eyes blazing. He is not just shouting, he is unleashing a torrent of pent-up fear and anger. He sees you as utterly reckless, oblivious to the danger you have exposed to yourself to. I just went for a walk. I needed some air. Your voice trembling. A walk? A walk without guards? Without telling anyone? You think this is some kind of game? Scoffs, his voice dripping with sarcasm. He can't believe your naivety. He is struggling to contain his fear, which is manifesting as explosive anger. I'm not a child. I can go where I want. Trying to sound strong, but your voice flatters. You are my wife. You are under my protection, and you will not leave this house without my permission. His voice rising to a roar. He is drawing a line in the sand, asserting his dominance. He feels like he is losing control, and that terrifies him. You can't control me. Tears welling up in your eyes. I can and I will. You have no idea of the danger out there. Our enemies could love nothing more than to use you against me. Taking another step closer, his voice low and menacing. He is painting a vivid picture of the potential consequences of your actions, trying to make you understand the gravity of the situation. Stop it, you are scaring me. Your body is shaking with fear. You should be scared. You put yourself in danger. You made me search for you for hours, fearing the worst. Do you understand the terror I felt? Ignoring your plea, his voice relentless. He is lost in his own fear and anger, unable to see the effect his words are having on you. He is desperate for you to understand the depth of his concern. Please, just stop yelling. My head hurts. Your head throbbing, you clutches your temples. You think your head hurts? What about my heart? I felt like I was being ripped out. His voice continues, though slightly softer. Even though he is slightly softer, he cannot stop his tirade. His emotions are too strong. I don't feel well. Your vision blurring, you stumble. The fear and tension have pulled you to your breaking point. You are on the verge of collapsing. You collapse, Taehyung catches you just before you hit the floor. His anger instantly replaced with terror. Why and his voice filled with panic. All the anger vanishes in an instant, replaced by raw, unfiltered fear. His protective instinct kicks in, overriding any other emotion. The image of you collapsing sent a jolt of terror through him. He gently lifts you in his arms, his movement surprisingly tender despite his earlier rage. He carries you to their bedroom, laying you carefully on the bed.